Hi folks, hope you're doing well. It's nearly 8:30 on the 19th of July 2020. Just a quick review of the Man United versus Chelsea game. Nothing really needs to be said that hasn't been said before. Mollie is just proving he's not the right manager for United, clearly. Again, fourth game against Lampard's Chelsea. He starts with 5 at the back. Basically cripples the attack completely by doing that. And of course, assuming that Lampard is a complete idiot and that Lampard wouldn't have learnt from the previous 3 games where the same tactics were used. So it's like, right, okay. Yeah, as I say, it's poor. And the man management again. Why are you starting with Bruno? Bruno has played more minutes than Pogba. If you're going to rest the player, you rest Bruno, not Pogba. Because Bruno's played a lot more minutes. That's right, isn't it? Right now. Decision making by the manager is really, really poor. Again, Fred was poor. James was fairly poor, but can't really blame him. But you start the game basically 5 at the back, 2 holding midfielders, Fred and McTom. Was it McTom or Fred? No, Fred and Matic it was, yeah. Fred is not an attacking midfielder. Simple. Just isn't. I mean, how many times did Fred play the one pass? It was common. So, his passing was poor. His passing was usual side to side or back, occasionally front, but only a couple of meters. He wasn't really looking for creating chances or an opening. Not like Bruno was. Not like Pogba does. So Fred's more of a defensive than attacking, if anything, but he's pretty poor at defensive as well. So again, to me, pointless. I think Fred is pointless. I think in the right team, Fred can make a difference and he can be a good quality player. But United aren't set up to have a player like Fred in there, really. De Gea was poor. I mean, as a so-called top goalkeeper, anything like was supposed to be a top goalkeeper, you've got to say he was incredibly poor. Lindelof, again, poor. Maguire, poor. Williams, very poor today. Just poor. So defence really didn't do anything defensively that was any use. They conceded 3 goals, not great. So goalkeeper really and all of the 5 defenders. Unfortunately, Bailly is out for however long he's out for. What can you say? Because when you've got 5 at the back that aren't really performing very well, but then you've got the 2 central midfielders that are supposed to be also helping out with defence, and they're not really looking forwards. Then you've got Bruno trying to create an attack with a couple of forwards against 7 defenders, basically, for Chelsea. Because as soon as United got the ball, Chelsea's defence went back, the midfielders come back, and they suffocated United completely in attack. Of course they did. 4 against 7. That's going to suffocate, really. So, substitutes come on. Too late. If you're going to bring Pogba and Greenwood on to make a difference, you do that before United are 2-0 down. 2-0 down, Chelsea just need to sit there and hit United on the break. Do to United what United have done to Chelsea in the other 3 games, really. sit back, hit them on the break when they come forward. Bing, bang, bing. Job done. Game sorted, isn't it, really? I mean, Ollie, again, as I say, his tactics, terrible. Decision making, terrible. He's proved nothing. The fact that, as I've said in all the videos, to me, Bruno is the one that's really got United playing well, not Ollie. Yeah, and since they've come back off the break, the fact Pogba's been fit and playing, you've got Pogba and Bruno really running the show. And Ollie's just been sort of holding on and, enjoying the success, even though really he's done nothing really to make it happen. Because the last 3 games, United have struggled. Again, what has Ollie done? What has Ollie done to correct that? Thankfully, they didn't lose games until today. But they struggled in other games. They didn't lose them. So, there you go. But this loss was coming. Last couple of games against Crystal Palace, against Southampton, they were poor. They started slowly. They didn't really get into the game. They weren't really doing well at all. And Ollie's had time by which to correct that. Has he done so? No. Like beforehand, from around about March last year, all the way around to January, February, United were poor. Yeah, as I say, from March all the way into mid-January, February, really. United were struggling massively, and Ollie couldn't do anything about it, couldn't fix it. Bruno came in, Bruno Fernandes, and within minutes, he was trying to orchestrate the front men. Yeah, telling them where to go. Getting frustrated when passes weren't going right, when the team weren't looking to attack. So, get Bruno as player manager. He will do as good as Ollie. Guaranteed. And of course, Bruno's too young to be player manager. My point is that Ollie has done nothing. Ollie is... he's one of these managers. It's like David Moyes. Moyes is a manager who looked okay at Everton. He looks as if he was doing a fairly decent job. As soon as he went to United, and ever since, his real qualities have disappeared completely. Like him looking good, he doesn't. He hasn't since he left Everton. He's been shown up as a immensely average manager, to say the least. Say the best, sorry. Say the best. And Ollie is pretty much the same. Ollie's at United. There are some pretty decent players there. You've got Pogba, you've got Bruno. You've got a great front three. And a half decent defence, to be honest. And we did have a world-class goalkeeper. I don't know what's been happening with him. Well, apparently he's fallen out with someone quite important in his life, and that may be the reason why his concentration isn't very good. Either way, he's paid to play. He's paid to do a job. He's clearly not doing his job. Clearly not doing his job today. So it's up to Carrick, McKenna, and Ollie to get things sorted out. And as I said time and time again, all 3 of them are too inexperienced for a club of the standard of Man United. And I think that is going to be the situation. I mean, personally, go and buy Sancho. It won't make a difference. It won't make a difference. You improve the front players, it won't make a difference. If you can't defend, if the manager is starting with 5 at the back, with 2 defensive midfielders or midfield centres, it ain't going to work. You can buy Sancho, stick him in. instead of another front player. It doesn't matter. He won't get the ball enough. And with Ollie at the wheel, when things start going badly, Ollie hasn't got a clue. He has not shown at any point in time. I mean, people believe he has because of his 19 games unbeaten run. But I don't count that as down to him. I don't. You just had to watch the early games where Bruno was playing. He was orchestrating. He was like the conductor of an orchestra. He didn't have the baton, but he was pointing to where people should be going. He was trying to encourage players like Rashford and Martial and Greenwood and James, any players like that to make the runs and to be in the right place when he's got the ball, because he's going to try and look for those opportunities. Now, really, the coaches should have been doing that, but they weren't. So for a few games, you saw Fernandes do that. And then suddenly it started to click. The front players realised who they were playing with and what he's going to do. So they started responding to that, and things started to flow and started to work and do better. But again, you start to struggle, because there's been quite a few games and the manager is trying to think ahead too much at the Premier League games. So he says, right, okay, let's be careful. Let's start resting players a bit. Really, the Norwich game, when you think about it, Norwich game was terrible. United were really, really poor in that game. They weren't good, but that was because of fact, and Bruno played the whole game in that one from the minute to start right till at the end of extra time. That's why I said Bruno should have been the one rested, not Pogba. So yeah. I don't know, as I say. Ollie is the manager. I think his decision making has been poor. I think in this game it's been poor. I think if we don't get top 4, then he has to go. And he should go. I don't think he will go, but I think he should go. So I don't think the board will sack him. I think they'd be fooled by the 19 games run, the same as they were fooled by the decent games when he first arrived. And they gave him a pretty decent contract, really. When they shouldn't have done it, they should have stuck with what they were saying. Because if they had done that, if the end of last season, if they had stuck with what they were going to say and not offer a new contract until the end of the season, or offer him a full-time contract, they probably wouldn't have offered him a contract because it started going wrong in March and he never was able to fix it. United should have got top 4 last season, but didn't, because Ollie could not get the team playing well once it started going bad. Now we're in a situation where we've come to the crunch of this season. We've got a very good chance of getting top 4, but we started playing badly. 3 games in a row until we finally lost the game. So, what is the possibility that we won't even get top 4 now? Even though Leicester have left the door wide open. Same as they did before the game against Southampton. Chelsea lost, Leicester lost, or didn't win, sorry, and gave United a chance to be in third place. But United drew. They couldn't actually win the game. They started incredibly slow. They showed no real desire to win it. And so we got 2 difficult games, one against Leicester. And yeah, I would not bet that United will get top 4 now. I think it's far more likely that they won't. I mean, they could win UEFA. That's possible. The teams in UEFA aren't great, so they could win that. I mean, plus the UEFA games will be not over 2 legs, but over one, so that might favour United. Don't know, time will tell. Anyway, you take care. God bless, and I will speak to you soon. Bye bye.